a year ago, the line was sort of like, well, if you want to build it, good luck to do anything. So that's changed now? If you've been putting off that reno or whatever it is?
It's time to get started on that process. So even as we see the number of homes commencing construction slow to its lowest level in a decade, the volume of homes under construction at the moment is roughly double what it was pre-pandemic. So there's still a lot of work on the ground to complete, and that's going to take through until early next year. So
and that's the point where there'll be all this sort of slack.
More abundant labour, And so the Reserve Bank's looking for unemployment to get to 4.5%, and it's not until we finish building all of the homes that are on the ground at the moment that the building industry is going to stop absorbing any excess labour in the economy, and it's only at that point, early next year, mid next year, that we'll start to see the unemployment rate pick up as the Reserve Bank's looking for.
Is it I'm trying to think of a term here that won't get me in trouble, but I'll say it anyway. Is it the dodgy builders that go out of business? Is it the ones that sort of maybe cut corners? Let's make a Mozza in 10 years and who cares? We'll Phoenix and get out of it.
If we divide builders into three cohorts, the volume builders who are often foreign-owned, very large corporate entities. We have the mum and dad builders who are building less than 15 homes per year. It's the cohort in the middle that have got themselves into particular trouble in this cycle. That's because they saw that there was strong demand and they attempted to grow the size of their business from being a small business to a medium or a medium
Look
to
at these
large.
Prices. I'll take on that, I'll take on that.
Yeah.
And too many, they happen more slowly and prices rise more over that period. And then suddenly they often say, hey, can you pay more to finish this home? And someone says no, and that's like they go, well, I'm going to go bust if you don't, and that's the stalemate you get to.
That's the equation that happens with fixed price contracts, and we have seen a lot of that over the course of the past couple of years. But with 12 months now of rising rates, sales have slowed down. We're largely through those red contracts, and builders that are still operating now have managed that process. And so now they enter a different cycle where the problem is that they are now pursuing customers, and we're starting to see that discounting and competition in the market from builders chasing customers rather than the last couple of years of customers walking in.
Clearly I did my repairs at the wrong time. I was chewing your ear off around my experiences. What do you make of quality build in Australia as well? Lots of calls for regulation, so many stories around people that desperately save up and they lose their deposit. They might have an apartment with all sorts of issues and, they can't afford to fix it. Do we have a problem in Australia, do you think?
I don't think we have a structural problem in Australia. We've certainly gone through a cycle where there has been an enormous volume of homes built and there's been builders under pressure to find materials, and as a consequence they have had to change their construction techniques and possibly engage people that weren't their first choice subcontractors. But
So when you get a huge rush in anything, the quality dissipates.
Well, I think we should also note that from a consumer perspective, there is insurance provisions in place there in most jurisdictions for most types of dwellings as well. So, and there is strict regulation around building in terms of certification and engineering and ongoing inspections as the construction is underway. But no doubt there have been more homes built over the past couple of years and therefore more defects.